Michael Jackson's tumultuous life and career were deeply connected to his high-profile marriage to Lisa Marie Presley, one of pop culture's most talked-about unions. Now, Lisa Marie speaks with heartfelt honesty, sharing intimate memories from their journey together, capturing both the passionate moments and the profound challenges they faced. Join us as she reveals never-before-heard insights and genuine reflections on what it truly meant to love and live alongside a global icon like Michael Jackson. Beyond the spotlight and headlines, she unveils the private emotions and inner battles that defined their extraordinary relationship. The pressures of fame, clashing worldviews, and the isolation of being watched by millions were some of the toughest challenges they endured. Yet, Lisa Marie also shares tender moments when Michael was simply a man, deeply loving and cherishing her. Behind the dazzling spotlight, beneath the weight of public scrutiny, and through their determined efforts to keep love alive amidst the storms, their story unfolds. This heartfelt journey will make you reflect on love, fame, and what truly matters in life. What's your perspective on the pressures celebrities face in their relationships? Have you ever struggled to love someone under the watchful eyes of the world? If yes, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0. Don't forget to enjoy the video and hit subscribe to support the channel. When things were going well, we were incredibly close. He understood me and I understood him, especially when it came to everything happening around his life. We were a solid team. Both my mom and he stood by me during that time. But with that closeness came challenges. I didn't like the constant attention. Everything around us felt like a storm. I couldn't go anywhere without being watched. He had to focus on his work, and I just wanted to stand behind him and support him. Still, some moments made me uneasy. Events like the MTV ceremony or his interview with Diane Sawyer were particularly difficult. Yes, I was deeply worried. Do I regret it? In some ways, maybe I do. Looking ahead, I know I never want to face conflicts over the children. I don't want disputes or tension between us. That's why I try to keep everything calm and under control. By then, I already had children, and I understood that when little ones are involved, the relationship has to be safe, clear, and strong. I want us to be truly on the same page because I'm very aware of the intense pressure coming from the outside world. I also sense there's a hidden agenda. He wants children, and he wants the mother of his children to be someone truly special. I remember he once said, "If you don't do it, Debbie says she will." That's when the conversations started. As for the rumors about drugs, I never actually saw anything myself. But I did have my suspicions. There was a lot of talk about painkillers during that period. The strange thing is, I never witnessed it firsthand, so I can't confirm anything for sure. But yes, the suspicion was definitely there, I won't deny that. Honestly, when it came to drugs, I didn't suspect much at first. However, there was one incident when he suddenly collapsed and had to be hospitalized while working with HBO. That time was very confusing for all of us. Every day brought a new report: dehydration, low blood pressure, exhaustion, and then they said it was some kind of virus. I couldn't get a clear answer about what was really going on with him. All I could do was notice the signs, and gradually, I started to believe something much more serious was happening. So, how did it all end? Things slowly turned bitter. Everything spiraled out of control and became really bad. At one point in our marriage, he had to make a choice between the drugs and the people who were constantly around him, or me. And sadly, he chose them. Who were those people hanging around? Honestly, they were like vampires just draining his energy. Did you see them around him? Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I was the one who filed for divorce. By then, we were only communicating over the phone. I was utterly drained. Everything felt overwhelming. Things had deteriorated badly. It wasn't a pretty situation at all. I left him with something like, "You have to decide for yourself." But deep down, I still tried to hold on, begging, "Please come with me. Don't do this." Looking back, I realized it was probably a foolish decision. He struggled through the divorce and then he got someone else pregnant. It seemed like that's exactly what he wanted. Everything happened so quickly. I don't even know what to say. I just knew I had to leave. A few days later, I began experiencing terrible panic attacks and my body was falling apart. I felt completely knocked down and stayed silent for nearly a year. Then, both physically and mentally, I collapsed. The stress was so overwhelming it almost shut my body down. I was diagnosed with the Epstein-Barr virus, a relentless, never-ending fever. Oh my God! It took me almost 2 years to recover from it all. Life can be incredibly tough and full of challenges, just like the story Lisa Marie Presley shared. If you've ever faced difficult times, remember, you're not alone. Please share your story or thoughts about this video in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss more honest, heartfelt stories. I had to go through so much to pull myself out of that state. Being with him was like living in a completely unique world, almost like being inside a bubble, and breaking free was incredibly hard. We genuinely tried to get back together. For 4 years after the divorce, we kept breaking up and reconciling, then breaking up again. We talked about making it work, but nothing truly did. Eventually, I had to let go, not because I stopped loving him, but because I couldn't keep living without moving forward with my own life. You once said you loved him. Do you think he loved you too? Oh my God. That's such a difficult question. Honestly, I'm not really sure. If I'm being truthful, I believe he loved me as much as he was capable of loving someone. For some reason, I had to go through this relationship in my life. I don't know why, but I did, and I made it through. Looking back now, I have to say he really tried and endured a lot. When I reflect on it, I realize he did things for me that he never did for any other woman. I truly admire the effort he put in and how he gave his all. Honestly, I didn't appreciate it at the time. I wish I had understood and valued that sooner. I don't know what to call it. Maybe it was just short-sightedness. So when people ask me about Michael Jackson, I sometimes feel uncomfortable. But now I'm ready to be honest. I even talk about Nicolas Cage too, because people always seem to associate me only with Michael, as if that's the only thing I've ever done. They treat me like I'm some kind of oddball just because I was married to Michael Jackson. And with all the recent controversies, especially after that British documentary, it's honestly been a disaster. I can say with absolute certainty that I never witnessed any wrongdoing from him. If I had seen anything wrong, believe me, I wouldn't have stayed silent. I would have spoken up right away. Honestly, right now, I don't really know what's going on. I just hope he can come forward and explain everything clearly and calmly. Back in 2005, we had a long conversation, and I told him, if anything happens and you have to go to court, stay calm. He asked, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And I said, "I mean the medication stuff." Over the years, I started noticing that things were becoming unusual. Interviews like the one with Martin Bashir revealed a side of Michael I hadn't truly seen before. During that conversation, he asked me, "Do you still love me?" I told him I had grown distant. Hearing that broke his heart. He actually cried. Eventually, he confided in me, saying, "I feel like someone is trying to kill me just to take my estate and music rights. My family and I spent years trying to save Michael from destroying himself, but it took a heavy toll on me, both physically and emotionally." Sitting here, overwhelmed by sadness, deep reflection, and the weight of what I see as the greatest failure of my life, I'm brought back to August 16th, 1977. That moment plays over and over in my mind. Only this time, it feels like it's happening to me. The most heartbreaking part? He had predicted it all along. Lisa Marie once shared a heartfelt post on her MySpace page. While many believed her marriage to Michael Jackson was chaotic, Her words revealed a deeper, more complicated truth. Michael once looked at Lisa and said, "I'm afraid I'm going to end up like your father." Looking back on that experience, what do you tell yourself? We all have moments in life that later make us wonder, what was I thinking? Or realize, that was such a valuable lesson. So what do you say to yourself now? Oh my God, Holy Mother of mine. Honestly, I heard he wanted to meet me when I was just 18. At first, I didn't want to meet him at all because, from the start, I thought he was kind of strange. I said no, thinking, no way, I'm not meeting him, he's just too weird. But eventually I thought, all right, maybe I'll give it a shot and see what happens. My first impression of him? He really worked hard to change how I initially perceived him. He sat down and said something like, "I know what you think, I know what people say about me." He came across as incredibly down to earth and even reassured me that he wasn't anything like the rumors. Honestly, I was surprised. Wow, he's nothing like what I imagined. In those first 20 minutes, I felt a clear connection, like some unspoken signal passed between us. From that moment on, everything just flowed naturally. Even though we came from very different backgrounds and upbringings, there was still this special bond that connected us. You know, both of them lived their lives in the intense glare of a superstar goldfish bowl, constantly watched and incredibly vulnerable. I got married and had a child when I was just 21. I hadn't been out much or really experienced life fully yet. And I have to say this, he wasn't dumb. He didn't get to where he was by chance. Michael was incredibly smart. The thing is, very few people truly knew who he really was. If he wanted your attention, to spark your curiosity, or to draw you into his world, he absolutely had that power. When Michael wanted someone to step into his life, he was a master at making it happen. In that moment, he felt like someone I could truly open up to, someone I needed to talk to. He made me feel like I was the most important person in the room, and that gave me a sense of protection. Before I knew it, I was caught in that emotional web. I didn't expect it to turn into a romantic relationship, but it did. At the time, everything seemed fine, and I truly immersed myself in this story. Something emotional, vulnerable, and a little innocent. I thought, I'm going to save him. And honestly, I really did love him. Yes, I loved him. And he loved me too. It was genuine and real. When he proposed, we were in a cozy library, right in front of the fireplace. He pulled out a 10-carat diamond from his pocket, slipped it onto my finger, and if I remember correctly, he got down on one knee. In that moment, I felt like saying yes was the right thing to do. Maybe it was because I didn't want to be the one to make such a fragile soul feel worthless. He didn't care that I was a Presley, and I wasn't too concerned that he was a Jackson. Back then, I thought to myself, I'm going to marry someone who is either bigger than me or at least equal. I thought I could truly be a wife, stand beside a man I admired, and finally feel more at peace with myself. I wasn't seeking attention. What I really wanted was the chance to support someone I respected. I needed a partner who could walk with me through life. At that moment, I thought, maybe this is the answer. Part of me believed that if I was with someone so extraordinary, I wouldn't have to question my own worth anymore. But when everyone around you, even your closest friends and your own mother, doubts the relationship, what can they really say to you? No one truly supported it. They tried, especially my mom, who said a lot to me. But I also knew this was a journey I had to face on my own. He was caught up in a whirlwind of scandals and relentless media scrutiny, and my mom's voice echoed in my mind, "Be careful with the timing. Don't make any impulsive decisions." My mom had been married to one of the biggest legends of her time, and here I was, about to marry the biggest music icon of mine. Honestly, I wasn't fully prepared for the storm that would come with it. I could feel her worry, The way she reacted when I first started dating him said it all. She was just a mom looking out for her daughter, telling me gently but firmly, "Honey, I don't really like him. And now, he's your husband." One day, my mom called me and said, "Lisa, did you know helicopters were flying over the house, announcing that you just married Michael Jackson?" I didn't say a word. She went on, "You haven't been honest with me. You didn't tell me anything beforehand. I've never liked being in the spotlight. I just wanted to be by his side, taking care of him. And honestly, I was genuinely happy doing that. There was something undeniably captivating about him. When he was happy and open, he became warm and sincere, making you feel like you were stepping into his own private world. I'm not sure if I've ever felt that kind of passion for anyone before." Have we ever lived together? Well, let me put it this way. Whenever he was in town, he was always at my place. Now, I have to ask, was it a real marriage in the truest sense? People are curious, was it a full, complete marriage? Oh my God. Oprah, are you seriously asking me that? But I get it. Everyone wants to know. Yes, absolutely. It was a genuine relationship, a fully committed husband and wife bond. Like I said, everything I'm sharing is the truth. And about his appearance, I'm not attracted to the ordinary or mundane. I know it sounds strange, but I consider myself a bit unusual, not quite like most people. We shared some truly romantic nights, even if I don't remember every single detail, but everything felt so natural, so right. I wouldn't have married him if I didn't believe it was real. I even wondered what it would be like, how he'd be in an intimate relationship. But he quickly broke down all my preconceived notions. Honestly, it was a normal marriage in every sense. We shared everything with each other. If he needed to talk in the middle of the night, I was always there to listen. I loved taking care of him. Those moments were truly some of the most beautiful times of my life. He often asked me about Elvis's father and once said, "I feel like I'm going to die just like him." At the time, I didn't fully understand what he meant. But now, every detail echoes that fear. One thing Michael and my father shared was their talent for creating an alternate reality around themselves. They surrounded themselves with people who either enabled that world or didn't challenge it, and anyone who didn't fit was pushed aside. That's the harsh reality of becoming a god in your own realm. Living in that strange, isolated ivory tower, a godlike existence intertwined with addiction, becomes your whole truth. That's usually the sign things have really taken a dangerous turn. Have you ever met someone like Michael Jackson or my father? People who create their own reality around them? What do you think? When someone becomes a god in their own world, can that become a trap, especially when addiction is involved? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Quick question for you. Do you have any friends who are part of the LGBT community? If yes, comment 1. If not, comment 0. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to support the channel and stay tuned for more fascinating videos. Thanks so much for watching.